Yo, what is happening, guys? Welcome back to the Let's Talk Fighting channel. As you can tell by the title on the thumbnail, we will be talking about the DAZN X Misfits 2, the boxing event. The main event being Jay Swingler versus Shardleys. I will put the thing that obviously I actually didn't get to watch the full event because I was working. When I got home, I tried to play it back on DAZN. I don't know if it's my internet or the zone being crap, but I didn't actually get to watch the full event. So a lot of these fights I have not seen. I've seen some of the full fights. A lot of these fights I have not seen the full fight. I've only seen the highlights of, so I kind of just have to go off that. So I have not seen every single thing that happened. So if I do say something that maybe you disagree with because you saw more than me, let me know in the comments below. I do want to actually watch it back at some point when I get the chance. But for now, I've only seen the highlights and I'd say the highlights, the important parts that have been outlined. But jumping into it, it obviously started off. First fight was Halal Ham versus DTG. I think I predicted Halal Ham to win on decision in this one. He did win on decision, but apparently it was a very controversial one. Apparently a lot of people believe DTG won. But what I seen, the highlights I saw, it looked like it was basically an even fight. Very, very sloppy. Very sloppy. The highlights I saw, it looked like it was an even fight. There was parts where Halal Ham was hitting a few hits, but then there was parts DTG was hitting a few hits, but it was kind of hard to call because it was so sloppy. Like, there was no technique. They weren't coming in with a 1-2. They were coming in with the yeet, yeet, yeet. They were coming in with the KSI special. That's what they were doing. The difference is they were almost falling over while doing this. You know, they were like swarms in the first fight, first KSI. I was waiting for one to do a 360 and fall on their ass. But hey, Halal Ham won decision. Very controversial. Apparently, I will watch it back and I will make my final decision. But very sloppy nonetheless. I feel like it was very difficult to call. Second fight, Anthony Taylor versus Ashley Raksu. Now, Anthony Taylor I picked to win this. He did win on decision. I was correct in that. But hey, right out the gate, I saw Ashley Raksu just ran across the ring. Anthony Taylor, little bop. Down goes Ashley Raksu. Literally out the gate. He just ran, just whoop, pop, and he just hit the deck. And I don't feel like it was one of those ones that it was a powerful shot. It just, because he was like sprinting towards him, basically. Raksu was basically off balance, and Anthony Taylor just caught him with a nice little quick, like, whoa, and Raksu just fell. And, you know, I saw Raksu being interviewed after, and honestly, like, he's in good spirits, which is good. But yeah, no, it went the distance, but that was funny the way Anthony Taylor did that. So now he's another win under his record. Next up was the female fight, Astrid Wet versus Kaylee. I did pick Astrid Wet. I think I picked her, was it either winning on decision or TKOing Kaylee. And that ended with Kaylee just stayed in the stool. They did one round. The entire round was completely Astrid side. It was one of those ones where Kaylee just kept walking in the punches, walking in the punches, walking in the punches every time. She was trying to do the job, going like this, but Astrid was just throwing her hands out, and Kaylee was just walking constantly into the punches. And then it just got to the end of the first round, and she stayed on her stool. And, you know, a lot of people are trolling her, saying, like, oh, you stayed in your stool, you're a pussy, you're this, you're that. And, like, the way I view it is, if you signed up, yes, you should have had a better idea of what you were getting yourself into. You can't play boxing. You're going to get punched in the face. It's going to hurt. You have to train and make sure that you're getting punched in the face as like the least amount as possible, and that you're punching them harder. Kaylee was not doing that. So she should have had a better understanding coming in. Should have trained a bit harder. But at the end of the day, although she stayed on the stool, you know, she got in there in the first place. You know, like, a lot of people say, oh, you stayed in the stool, but she got in there in the first place, which takes guts originally. Obviously, fair play to Astrid for having it such a one-sided fight, but respect to both of them for getting in the ring, of course. Next up, we then had JMX versus Ginty, or Ginty, I don't know which one it is, but JMX already said that I would be very disappointed if he didn't knock him out. He did, well, he didn't flatline him, but he did basically TKO him, you know what I mean? Like, I said TKO minimum, that's what he got. The ref was like, nah, mate, not going on. But some surprising things. Ginty actually took some powerful shots and was still standing. JMX hit him. I think whenever JMX finished him, he hit him with like 4 or 5 punches. And Ginty was still standing there just taking them. Like, I don't think he was like aware, like, oh, I'm feeling these. I think he was so out of it, he wasn't feeling it, but he was taking them. So fair play. But And then he got a knockdown on JMX. I don't know if it was considered a knockdown. The way it is he didn't knock down JMX because it wasn't a powerful shot that knocked down JMX. If you look at it, obviously, like JMX is right in the point of he just had shift footwork in that second. Like in that second, he just didn't know what the fuck to do with his feet, and he knocked himself over. He knocked himself over, and that is literally what happened. He literally just didn't know what he was doing with his feet, and it cost him. But at the same time, if someone lands on you and you fall over, even if they didn't knock you down, they still can act. That's still considered a knockdown. You know what I mean? So I don't know if it was considered a knockdown, but either way, didn't really knock him over. But JMX won how I thought he would win. You know, he should have finished him, and he did. Next up, Slim versus Ryan Taylor. This was actually a surprising one. This was a surprising one. I thought. Now I did say I think Slim might stop him, but I was correct in saying I think Ryan Taylor is a tough son of a bitch, and he is. There was a shot where Ryan Taylor walked into range and Slim threw a nice right and connected to Ryan Taylor's nose. And I don't know if he broke Ryan Taylor's nose or not, but god damn, it was a fucking punch. Ryan Taylor went down instantly, got up, and before the ref even said, yeah, you good, Ryan Taylor just tried to go for it again. So throughout the entire fight, Slim completely outboxed him. He showed he was the better fighter, showed he was a better boxer. And he outboxed Ryan the entire time, in my opinion. Ryan had some success in the later rounds, I think, because I don't think Slim had the cardio for it. I think Slim didn't have the cardio prepared because none of Slim's fights have went anywhere near the distance. So he's never had to rely on his gas tank, where this time, no matter what he hit Ryan with, Ryan just kept coming. Like I said, boxing skill, Slim is miles above Ryan. But Ryan got his success because he wore him down. He kept clinching. He just kept going in. And as soon as he hurt Slim a few times, I think. Like in my personal opinion, I saw him chin Slim, and Slim stood back a bit like, yo, okay. And Ryan went right for him. Obviously, Ryan just needs to work on his technique more and like be more patient and all that. But he did have some success in the ring whenever Slim started to fade a little bit on the gas tank. And he's a tough motherfucker. So he wants that rematch. You know what? Fair play. It was entertaining. Give it to him if you really want to. But hey, I expect Slim to finish him maybe. But I did say it might go to decision because I don't think Ryan would be the one to stay down, and I was correct. That was definitely fight of the night. One hell of a fight. Then moving on to the main event, Jay Swingler versus Jared Lees. Jay kept predicting first round knockout, 2 rounds max. I think I predicted that he finishes him within the first 2 rounds. I said the latest it'll be is like a midway through the second round he's gonna knock him out, or it's gonna be like a ref stoppage. But I feel like he's gonna TKO him or knock him out. Within 45 seconds, Jay Swingler knocked him out. Jared Lees came in here, obviously. I mean, you know what? He had a little bit of success. You know, he didn't just stand there. He didn't run. Jared Lees was there throwing the jobs, so fair play to him. But obviously, Jay Swingler got those shots and knocked him out. So Jay won the main event. 45 seconds was great. I was very happy to see it. But that was the main event. That's everything that happened on the main event. It seems good. The overall main event, I will say, I haven't watched the full thing, but going off the highlights, I don't think it was as good as the KSI versus Swarm / Pineda fight. No, sorry, event, sorry. I don't think it was as good as that, but that's hard to top. That had some stacked fights. But it was very good for a second event of a bunch of people. Like, nobody was like, you had Jay Swingler, of course. Slim isn't really a massive name. He's building it for the boxing. You have Jay Swingler, like, but you didn't have all these big names like Face Temper, KSI. You know, like, well, Swarms is you could consider as a big name, but like there's Deji, obviously Fusi, like these were big names. On this event didn't have the biggest names, had a couple, but not everybody was a massive name. But it was still very good, and I definitely I want to watch the full thing, and I'll definitely enjoy it. Obviously spoke about those fights. There is some fights I want to touch on. Obviously Jay Swingler, how he performed, Slim, how he performed, what's next for Slim, Ryan Taylor, Jay Swingler. Jared Lees wants KSI. I say we give him that fight. KSI, be fucking scared, bro. But I want to do an actual separate video to talk about those type of ones. I just wanted to do this video of talking about what happened on the event. My opinion, like I said, I haven't watched the full thing, but by what I've seen, I thought it was very entertaining. And let me know in the comments below, what did you think? Did you think it was very entertaining? Did you think it was disappointment? What went your way? What predictions did you get right? And just let me know all down in the comments. But of course, as always, thanks for watching the video. I really do appreciate it. Smash like button, smash subscribe button if you haven't yet already. I really appreciate that as well. But of course, as always, hope you all are thinking positive and testing negative. Hope you all have an amazing day, amazing week, and an amazing weekend. But without further ado, this was me talking about DAZN X Misfits 2. I've said that way too much in the past week. I'll drop some videos talking on some fighters, some fights, breaking them down maybe. And let's start to get ready for Misfits 3. Let's do it. But hey, that's the end of the video. Enjoy the rest of your day. Stay safe, and I'll see you in the next one. So, peace. Fearless.